What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and the Colts have revealed their official depth chart for Week 1. So, for the most part, we have a pretty good idea of who's going to be starting for the Colts when they take on the Seahawks. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be running through the entire depth chart, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on each position as we go along. And before I get into the video, if you're new or if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me if you do so. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified whenever a video goes up or if we go live. If you like this video, smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on the depth chart as I go through it. So let's start with the offense and quarterback more specifically. No surprise here. Your starting quarterback is going to be Carson Wentz. His backup will be Jacob Eason. I think we all knew when Carson was traded to Indy, he was the guy. Unless Jacob Eason or Sam Ehlinger went in there and absolutely dominated, there was no way Carson was not going to be the starter. So, not a surprise at all. The only thing that surprises me is that we didn't get a third quarterback. I thought we would have gotten a third quarterback until Sam Ehlinger is off the IR. We didn't do that, so now we're going with, just two quarterbacks instead of three. Whatever. As long as Carson or Jacob doesn't have anything happen to where they're out for an upcoming game, we should be good with that. But still, a little surprised nonetheless. Now we go to running back. Our starter, no surprise, is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Then we have Nyheim Hines, then Marlon Mack, and Jordan Wilkins. So if I'm surprised with anything, it's the fact that Nyheim Hines is listed as the number 2 running back on this team. I thought it would have went Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines, and then Jordan Wilkins. But I guess Nyheim Hines does offer you that, receiving ability too, that maybe Marlon Mack doesn't offer, or at least he doesn't do as well as Nyheim Hines. So maybe that's why he's listed as the number 2, because I do expect to see Nyheim Hines a lot in this upcoming game. But still, a little surprised that Marlon Mack wasn't listed as the number 1 backup to Jonathan Taylor. So, a little surprised there, but hey, it is what it is. So, moving on to receivers, we have Paris Campbell, Zach Pascal, and Michael Pittman as your starters. Your backups are Michael Strawn and Ashton Dulin. No surprise there. Even with TY coming back, we all expected Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell, and Zach Pascal to be the starters. And we expected Michael Strawn and Ashton Dulin to be the backups. I am curious to see how they use Ashton Dulin, though. Obviously, he's going to be a special teams guy, but I'm curious on the receiving side of things, how much is he used? Is he used a lot? Is he used very little? Or is he used just a little bit? He gets a little bit of playing time, not a whole lot, but, he gets enough to make an impact. I am curious to see what they do with him. And then Michael Strawn, I'm curious to see what they do with him as well. I expect him to play more than Ashton Dulin, but still, very curious to see what they do with Michael Strawn because he does offer you a lot of good things, I believe. Now, moving on to tight ends, we have Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson as the backup. So, no surprise there that Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox is going to be the starter. We expected it. They do like to use 2 tight ends quite a bit. So, having Jack Doyle and Mo as starters, not a surprise at all. And then obviously Kylan is a rookie. We didn't expect him to go out there and start over Jack Doyle and Mo. We just didn't expect it at all. So, not surprised that Kylan is getting the start. So now let's go to the offensive line. At left tackle, we have Eric Fisher as a starter and Julian Davenport as the backup. At left guard, we have Quentin Nelson as a starter and Chris Reed as the backup. At center, we have Ryan Kelly as a starter and Danny Pinter as the backup. At right guard, we have Mark Galinsky as a starter and Will Fries as the backup. And at right tackle, we have Braden Smith as a starter and Matt Pryor as the backup. So, starting with left tackle, don't expect Eric Fisher to play in week 1. The earliest that I could see him coming back would be week 2, but even that is a stretch. So I fully expect Julian Davenport to start week 1. And honestly, I think we'll be fine with him at a starter for week 1 because the Seattle defense doesn't worry me as much as, say, the Rams defense. I think we'll be perfectly fine with Julian Davenport being the starter for week 1. Week 2 is where I'll get a little nervous, but even then I think he'll do okay. But yeah, Eric Fisher, I would be shocked if he played in week 1. No surprises everywhere else. Quinn Nelson, unless something really bad happens, will be playing in week 1. He'll do whatever it takes. He's going to play in week 1. And I like Chris Reed as his backup. I think Chris Reed could go in and do a pretty good job if Quentin Nelson was not ready to go. But really, other than that, No surprise at all. Ryan Kelly, Mark Linsky, Braden Smith, we all expected them to start. They're fantastic at what they do. So, not a surprise there at all. So, now let's move on to the defense. And let's start out with the defensive edge. And at defensive edge, we have Kwity Paye and Al-Qadim Muhammad as your starters. Their backups are going to be Kamoko Toure, Taekwon Lewis, Ben Banogu, and Isaac Rochelle. Now, I will say, I am surprised that Taekwon Lewis is not starting at defensive edge. I thought he would have gotten it over Muhammad, and I like Muhammad. I like him a lot. I was very happy when we brought him back. But I am surprised that he's starting. Not surprised that Kwity Paye is starting, however. I thought he had a great training camp, and he had a great preseason when he played. I thought he did really good things. So seeing him start is not the biggest surprise in the world. I thought he played very, very well in training camp and preseason. So, again, not surprised with him. A little surprised with Muhammad, even though I like Muhammad a lot. Now, moving on to defensive tackle, we have DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart as your starters. Their backups are going to be Chris Williams and Taylor Stallworth. No surprise here. Obviously, we knew DeForest Buckner was going to start. Same with Grover Stewart. Two great players. Very happy to see them starting. And not surprised that they're starting at all. So going on to linebackers now, we have Bobby Okereke, Darius Leonard, and Zaire Franklin as your starters. Their backups are going to be EJ Speed, Matthew Adams, and Jordan Glasgow. No surprises here. Bobby Okereke, Darius Leonard, Zaire Franklin, we all expected them to be the starters. Would have been very surprised if one of them was not the starter. Liked what I saw from Matthew Adams in preseason, and EJ Speed also had a really good training camp, and I expect Jordan Glasgow to do really good things on special teams. But yeah, no surprises here. So moving on to the corners, we have Rock Ya-Sin, Kenny Moore, and Xavier Rhodes as the starters. Their backups are going to be Isaiah Rodgers, TJ Carey, Chris Wilcox, and Bo Pete Keys. No surprises there. I think we all expected Rock to win that spot after the preseason and training camp. You may not be the most confident in him, but I felt that he performed better than any of the other corners that played in the preseason. Kenny Moore, I know he got hurt in practice yesterday. He should be good to go for week 1, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. So really, no surprise to that corner. That's who we expected to start. Now going on to the safeties, we have Julian Blackman and Kari Willis as the starters. Their backups are going to be George Odom and TJ Carey. So TJ Carey is going to be playing both corner and safety this year if he needs to. But really, as far as the starters go, no surprise. We expected Blackman and Willis to earn spots. They both were great last year, so no surprises there. So now let's move on to the special teams. At punter, we have Rigoberto Sanchez, which is not a surprise at all. Your kicker is going to be Rodrigo Blankenship. Again, no surprise there. Your long snapper is Luke Rhodes. No surprise. Your kick returners are going to be Isaiah Rodgers and Ashton Doolin. And your punt returners will be Nyheim Hines and then Isaiah Rodgers backing him up. So no surprises when it comes to the special teams. Everything is as expected. We all expect these things to happen. So not shocked at all. And that will do it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're new, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, click the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever a video goes up as well as when we go live. For example, tonight at 7 o'clock, we're going to be having a Inside the Horseshoe podcast. We're going to be talking about week 1 of the NFL season. So I would greatly appreciate it if you would tune in for that. And just join us in the comments. Throw in your comments out there, and we will address every comment that we can get to. And if you like this video, smash that like button. I want to get this out to as many Colts fans as possible, and you guys can help with that. So click the like button. That will get it out to more Colts fans. And again, let me know in the comments below on your thoughts on the depth chart. Are there any surprises? Let me know in the comments below. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.